Jane Lauder is affectionately known as Ms.Jane to her students. She retired 2 years ago after teaching for the last 35. Lauder always wanted to be a dancer.
I think I was 3. I started walking around the house and saying, I'm going to be a dancer. I'm going to be a dancer. And one of my grandfathers had given me a big pink ballet book. I can still picture it. And my mom says I dragged it everywhere I went with me. And anybody who was close by had to read it to me until I could read it myself. So she put me in ballet classes at, I think I was 4.
During her career, she studied at both York and Ryerson. And she was teaching at the Royal Winnipeg Ballet when Evelyn Hart stepped into the spotlight. Now she lives in Shelton, PEI, with her husband and 2 dogs. Her house is plastered with ballet trinkets and gifts from students.
30 twirling ballerinas for my tree, and and they all came from students. So
her mother was a teacher, and Lauder was inspired to do the same.
And she is without a doubt the best teacher in the entire universe. I saw her teach many, many times, and she just inspired me so that I was always kind of torn. I thought, I'd love to teach school like my mom, but I love to dance. So it just became really logical to put the 2 together.
And after a while, Lauder found herself on Prince Edward Island in search of work.
I called my friend Martha because I knew she was from PEI. She was still living in Winnipeg, and I said, Martha, you know, I really liked Winnipeg, or PEI, because I'd come down here once with her to visit her family. I said, you don't suppose there's any ballet jobs there, like teaching ballet? She said, well, search it out and see what she could find out. And she called me back. She said, actually, there is a volunteer board of directors who's looking for a ballet teacher to teach in Summerside and Charlottetown.
After working there for a short time, Lauder went to work at the Summerside YMCA. Then she opened the Summerside School of Dance, which was operated out of St. Mary's Church Hall. And the biggest thing every year was the dance recital. All ages gathered together to put on a performance for parents, friends, and extended family. The year of this recital, Lauder put together the most elaborate bow possible. The Circle of Life. All of the classes held hands and created a large spiral on stage. Then they unwound. Alison Clow is a student at UNB. She took lessons from Lauder for almost 14 years. What she remembers the most is how Lauder taught her students about discipline.
If there was something wrong, you would have to give a timbit the next time you came to class because she loved timbits. And I was, of course, one of the kids that probably got asked every day, maybe twice a day, to bring a timbit next class. And I never really brought timbits, was just kind of brush it off your back. It's like a funny thing that she does. But at the end of the year, at the end of my years, I came back during her last show and brought a big box of timbits. I forget the highest size you can get, but I made sure I got the biggest size of timbits you can get, and I presented it to her.
During her teaching career, Lauder rarely took time off. The last time being in 2006, when she went to see her stepson get married. He and his wife have had a baby since then, and Ms.Jane says that she's looking forward to spending time with her family. For Stu Journalism, I'm Cailyn Bean.